Hello everyone, Krydax here, and welcome back to pYanodon's Season 3. 6 smelters, missing material for construction. Did I never make smelters in the auto mall? Welcome to this morning's episode. I guess it might not be morning for you. So welcome to whatever time zone you're in. Congratulations, you did it. Smelter. I'm in a good mood today. Alright, well, we'll make sure smelters are going if they weren't already. Alright, so what are we doing here? So last episode we were working on stainless steel and ferrochrome. Can I just say our base has really come together. I'm very much enjoying how this is working. There are some issues we're gonna have with train throughput that hopefully when we have Mark II trains, that will help a lot. And then once we have red loaders, that will help a lot, because then the speed at which trains are being unloaded and loaded will increase a lot. And the Mark II locomotives have more pulling power, right? They weigh less and have more acceleration power, so they get up to speed faster and they accelerate, or what am I saying? They have a higher top speed. And so even if they're at top speed the whole time, they'll still get there 10% faster, which is, it doesn't sound like a lot, but that adds up. And really, I think it's the acceleration that helps, because when they have to slow down and then speed up again for, you know, train traffic, the acceleration and the braking is what comes into play there. Speaking of braking, when do I get train braking force? We don't get our first until chemical science. That's an outrage. You know, they should give this the same treatment they gave mining productivity. Because this is like 2 at a time, then a big break, then 2 at a time, then a big break, or actually then 3 at a time, then a big break, then 2. I think they should put the first one in, I think they should actually put the first one in Logisci, second in Pi2, third in Chem, fourth in Pi4, or is that Pi3? Fourth in Pi3, fifth in Prod, and then maybe sixth. Yeah, honestly, that would kind of work out. And then you get it a little more dispersed, which feels nice. Also, I cannot, I'm sure someone else is gonna leave a comment and agree with me. Do you guys just see Pokeballs when you look at this? All I see when I look at this is a Pokeball. Like, I know it's supposed to be brakes on a wheel or whatever, and the like screeching sparks kind of thing, but no, that is a freaking Pokeball on my braking force technology icon, and I refuse to believe it's anything else. Oh man, just like how some people, you know, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show the icon. The icon for the logistics bots when they need a module delivered and there's no bots available, some people are like talking about how it looks like a turtle. It's this icon that I'm talking about, and so I don't know how to make that appear, but some people say it looks like a turtle. Anyway, we need to continue on with our stainless steel quest here. So stainless quest. Those two are going on belts. What else needs to go on belts? So we're gonna need nickel, phosphate, copper, and niobium will go on belts. So nickel, phosphate, copper, and niobium. So that's 4 things. Perfect. It's so interesting it doesn't copy the blueprints properly. Anyway, so nickel, phosphate, copper, and niobium. And at that point, why not just use another belt? I'm not using bots well, no, that's why I use bots. I use bots for the sand casting, the cobalt, the sulfur, and the aramid. Is that worth it? To not have 4 more belts? No, you know what? We'll just use belts. We've got just enough space for that many things. Look at that. And we have space here. I still have a whole nother belt here that I haven't tapped into. So I don't have to go absolutely wild here. In fact, I should spread... I guess I'll do nickel and copper on this one. Okay. Nickel plate. I have no idea. Let me get the numbers pulled up here. So nickel, we need a stack a minute, so I think I can do 30 stacks. That gives me about 8 minutes. 7 minutes. Yeah, that's fine. And then copper, stack every 2 minutes. So we'll say like 24. We're up to 114 stacks out of 144. Okay, and then this one, we need phosphate. Phosphate rock. 35 stacks because we're gonna blow through 2 stacks a minute. 2.2 stacks a minute even. So 5 minutes is 11 stacks. So we'll go 15 stacks over. Hopefully that's enough. Phosphate, and then we already got nickel and copper, and then we need niobium plate, which is closer to what? Stack every 2 minutes again, so 26. Okay. Have we done all the things? And then we need aramid and sand casting. Aramid. Oh no, and I need sulfur and wait, how am I gonna fit all these things? Still need 4 more things, and we don't have enough space. I think I need a little bit more storage here. Okay, so did I miscount how many items we needed here? Because we've got, I mean, how many total? Okay, can I just count here? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, 9, 10, 11. We've got 11 items. We've already got 3 and 4, so I still need 4 more items. But belt-wise, the phosphate niobium can go on that one. So I do still need 4 more items like this. Or something like that. Uh-oh. Are we gonna have to go up? That's gonna be dicey as well. I guess this, no. This one can go here. And then that can go there. Perfect. Alright, so this will work. Assuming we have enough storage for all of it. Because that's 6 items, so hopefully we added enough storage space. So then we'll request cobalt extract. Are we really gonna do 20 stacks? Oh gosh. A stack every 4 minutes. Yeah. It's a lot. It's gonna cost my base a heckin' heck of a lot. But I think it's fine. Sulfur. That stacks to as well. Aramid, half as much. Do we really want 20 stacks of aramid? Now we're talking an hour of production for 10 stacks. And that's an hour of 3. No, I don't know if I can stomach that much aramid. I don't think I can. I'm tapping out. We're doing station control, aramid, and we're going to 10. I not allow 20 stacks of aramid. Alright, so 12 stacks total there. 197, then goes to 240, so we should be okay. Yeah. Okay, and then sand castings. Which can be 22 stacks of that. Okay, so aramid and sand casting should go on the same one, probably this one. Aramid, sand casting. And then this one can have sulfur, cobalt extract. And then this one can have phosphate and neobes. All right. That all should result in being able to make molten stainless steel and then stainless steel. If I didn't screw it up. Which, you know, you never know if you screwed it up or not until it's really going. I think we did okay. I am worried about the cobalt extract amount. Let me go find that. I know we preemptively got a bunch in here, but yeah, we didn't get enough. Why did... Uh-oh. Now that's not normal. Wait, what the heck? Tailings should not be... chilling here. There should be an ever hungry tailings request somewhere. Is there not? Channel 2. Why is this one stopped? Isn't that supposed to be running forever? Or do I have... This isn't tailings trash, I guess. Where is tailings trash? Did we do a tailings trash up here? Or did I put a stop on all possible tailings requests, so none of them are actually a final trash? No, I don't need final trash. I'm supposed to just sinkhole extra stuff. Right. I'm dumb. I mean, again, I'm not dumb, but come on, Krydex. Silly, goofy mistake. I also want to... Since I don't want to waste tailings, we're going to add in a little bit more there. And then we just need an overflow on tailings. That's all. Nothing crazy here. Wait, no. Hold on. I do need to do this differently. I need it to pump. Need it to pump into there. And then we can do an overflow into a sinkhole. Okay. Well, that, we haven't made a cobalt extract in 10 hours. No, 10 minutes. Okay, we're fine. Well, maybe we're not fine. I don't know. It's possible that we stopped because of this issue for a while, and then some tailings got used, so it ran for a while. That... I don't know if that's worked out the way I wanted it to, but it should be fine now. Cobalt extract is expensive because of the cyanic acid, remember. The cyanic is the problem, but we're making cyanic with the coal methane method. Rather than importing it, which feels silly because I'm going to get cyanic from meat soon. From waste meat. So why am I not importing cyanic here? Why am I importing ammonia instead of cyanic? Do we even use ammonia? It's odd that I made that choice. I may need to undo that choice. Cyanic acid. Yeah, we have a cyanic acid facility over here designed for cyanic provision. So at some point I probably want to undo that. Should put that on my to-do list. Revamp cobalt to use cyanic from trains. By the way, if anyone's found a to-do list that has slightly more features for organization and like not having to control and shift click a tiny button 50 times to move it around, like click and drag would be great. Let me know. I love task list or to-do list or whatever this one's called by Ryguard. It's a great mod, but it's a little too lightweight for my taste. It also looks like we're having nickel problems. I haven't looked at ore in a while. It could be good to do like a check on all ores. Because yeah, it's been a heckin' long time since I've looked into any of my ore mining facilities. I just assume they last forever, but that's not always a safe assumption, is it? Is it now, Krydex? Alright, we gotta get these hooked up to syngas. Here. Okay. So that should get nickel going fast enough. We also did just request like 2,000 of it over here. So that's part of why we're struggling. Okay, and I was gonna check, sorry, I didn't quite finish my train of thought. I was gonna check the cobalt fluoride. For what amount are we filling up to? 2,100? Yeah. 2,500. Okay, we can go higher than that. All right. Okay, so ferrochrome is a done deal minus the fuel. Put that on the bottom. Oh wait, no, I already put pipes on the top. Don't undo a thing I already did. Right, Axe? Dare you. All right, and then pipe. And pipe. Okay, that's done. Ferrochrome is here, but it also needs to be there, here and there, and everywhere. It also needs to go to stainless. Molten stainless. Let's get a spot area over here. And then I'll leave some space, and then I'll put these... I really like these things to be vertical where I can. I don't know if vertical makes a whole lot of sense here, so I won't do vertical, but I think vertical looks so much better than horizontal. Because the buildings have this overhang, right? And so it's so obscuring of whatever's going on at the top when you do it like this. Molten steel still hasn't shown up. That feels weird, right? That's been going for a while now. Did I not connect it? I swear we connected it. We did. Yeah, it's right there. Okay, it's only at 16K. Yeah, we got a problem. Well, no, it's running. It's running. I guess the problem is we're prioritizing regular steel. And we're running out of molten iron. Which I cannot easily increase the rate of, given everything that's going on in here. I don't think. Seems like everything's processing as intended, which is sadly only 15 iron ore a second. Wish I built this a little bit bigger, though I couldn't have fit much more in here. I couldn't have fit much more in there. Yeah, because as long as we're making iron, then we're not feeding steel as much. I think it'll all catch up eventually. It almost feels like I should have a little bit of a buffer for molten iron. I probably should have thought of that a while ago. Just to keep the plates flowing. I don't know. There's a lot of buffers, though, along the way, right? There's buffers of iron plates. There's buffers of steel plates. Do I really need a buffer of the molten iron as well? You know, it's not expensive, so I'm gonna just say yes. Yes, I do. So we'll throw that guy down. And store 15,000 molten iron. Which is only a few minutes of production anyway. That's not that much. We'll put 2 of them. Alright, anyway, back to what we were doing. So, the steel... Gosh, this needs everything. Okay. Hey, ferrochrome is filling up. Go, 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 go. This one goes on the last step. Everything else goes on this step. 4, 5, 6, 7 things. Okay, so ferrochrome can be on its own belt. And I need the fuel to be a separate line from the molten steel. So there's molten steel right there, and there is fuel right here. Okay, and then each building needs pretty significant amounts of items. And we need up to 7 items, which is pulling from so many belts. I mean, we're gonna need some interesting stuff going on here. So we're gonna need a belt there. We're gonna need a belt here. We're gonna need a belt here. We're gonna need a belt here. 1. And I think I might even need a fast inserter. I guess it depends on what's on what belt. No, I think as long as I don't put phosphate, nickel, or ferrochrome together, a sideways inserter can handle the rest. Oh, but that one's only 1.2. I need 2 at that distance. 2 at that distance. Then that doesn't allow for power. I guess these can just be regular belts. Okay, well that's pretty crazy, but I think that'll work. Except that needs to go there. Okay. I think that does it. And then, let's see. So we've got sulfur, cobalt extract. So niobium and phosphate can come down. Sulfur and cobalt can come down. Where are the other ones? We're missing a lot of stuff here. Ah, nickel and copper. That's the one we're missing. So nickel and copper. Down there. Niobium and phosphate is here. Sulfur, cobalt extract is here. So then the nickel and copper adds up to 1.75, which means we do need these two inserters. And then the ferrochrome needs those two inserters. Yeah, that's all correct. Also, the belt worked out pretty cleanly. I'm not gonna lie, that's cleaner than Krydex usually is. I mean, I don't hate it. Don't hate it. All right, let's get a lamp over there. Over there. Up here. Okay, so that's done. Molten stainless. Does that go into other stuff? Yeah, it does later. Ugh. Molten super steel. Oh, you've heard of stainless steel. Well, now we've got super steel. Okay, and then finally, one... It always cracks me up how powerful casting units are, usually. Except that weird chromium one is not so powerful. But anyway, one single little casting unit. The little casting unit that could. Alright, plug that in. Hot air goes over here, up, and... We'll just have it go directly in. One of those. And then we just need the aramid and sand casting. And there we go. Stainless freaking steel. Let's go, baby! Very excited about that. I guess we want here. And here. Alright. Should do it. Left is stainless. Copy that. Here we've got stainless steel. This claims it can make 180 a minute. I kind of doubt that. We'll go for 3 train loads buffered. No, this one only has one other purpose right now, and we're not even using it for that. So, because what I'm trying to say here is because it only has one other purpose, there's only ever going to be one other train that's coming to pick these up. And so the reason that matters is because the only reason you would want more than 2,000 buffered in the warehouse is so that a train could come get it for purpose A. And then what if purpose B became hungry at the same time? Well, now we need 4,000 because we sent 2,000 over there. But if there's only ever one place that's going to be asking for this, we don't need 2 train worth of it buffered. In fact, I don't even need 3,000. But stainless goes to 1,000,000 places, so having 3 train worths in here seems reasonable. And I even think it seems reasonable to speed up the thingies further. This should be good to go. I think we're going to see stainless steel actually appear in our base this episode, which is crazy exciting. And then the titanium we can upgrade as soon as this research is done. It's all very exciting. Now, why is the fuel not working? Oh, I hooked up the wrong thing, apparently. Okay, fair enough. I'll fix that, and then that should be good to go. Silly mistake right there. Okay, what's next? I feel like I was going to check on something, but I don't remember what it was. Yadles. Haven't thought about those in a while. How are they doing? Still doing fine, I guess. Oh yeah, here's a belt where I don't even have a mixer. You know, honestly, that's not a bad strategy. Mixers might be overrated. Now that I think about it. The more that I think about it, the more I actually think you don't always need mixers. Wow, this is clumped if I've ever seen clumped. Let's see if this fixes it. Well, the hard part is it's gonna get unclumped when it stops, if it ever stops. Wait, we're short on moss. Oh. Okay, well that's a problem. Alright, I'm gonna make this a little longer of a mixer, since we're reading it now. Anyway, the reason you don't need a mixer is because eventually, like, let's say things kind of start out sort of clumped and these go for a while without getting their items. Well, then they're going to need more items. So then as soon as the items get around to here and they start taking items off the belt, if there's no mixer, then as soon as an item gets grabbed, an item gets dropped. So then the grabbing always syncs up with the dropping, right? And then it will end up fairly distributed, because if things don't run for a while, then they'll be hungrier when a clump comes. But then, well, no, because then that would be equally clumped. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you do need a mixer. I was thinking that it would declump over time naturally, just because of the randomness of, well, if things aren't running for a little while, then they would. But no, because then they'd take 3 recipes worth all at once. But they'd take it at the rate of like 1 inserter taking, which is a little slower. So that would spread out then. I don't know. I don't actually know for sure if not having a mixer works. Clearly this mixer logic is more confusing than I ever thought it was. I'm a bit concerned about moss though. Am I out of stone? Like, what's going on here? Moss production's been pretty constant at 1,000 a minute. Looks like when it switches over to stone, it has like some sort of spike or something, but yeah, wait, why am I not getting 1380 a minute? That's what we should be getting. Is it because we don't have enough stone? You know, it might be. Because 1 belt of stone just isn't enough. Okay. Did we already know that? Is that just clearly? Yeah, we need 20 a second. Okay, clearly indicated right there. All right, so then what we really need is to, where did I go? Where's the stone? Stone. I lost it. That's okay. Stone's here. We are requesting the full 72 stacks. I'm not convinced that 72 is enough for this. So I'm gonna add another couple chests. And then we're gonna do this. This. I guess. And then we'll merge those. The power, I guess let's go up by 1. Okay. I think that should get us to 20 a second on stone. Gosh, moss is one of those things that, like, you really should overbuild when you first build it. You need a lot of moss at the beginning for Vraux, and it never stops. You never stop needing a lot of moss. Now, to be fair, a lot of the moss we still need for Vraux, but there's a lot of other places it's going to. Probably more of it's going to, what is it, substrate? Is it substrate that's so hungry for moss? Or petri dishes or whatever? Yeah, petri dishes are, or no, wait, what? Oh yeah, the substrate is moss, and then the petri dishes are made in all those. Right. Okay, this is done, so demerge, remerge. Now we go up to 96 stacks. And then we merge these. Okay. There we go. We don't need a huge buffer there. Okay, so that's a full 22.5 now on that side of the belt. And that should boost our moss production a little bit. Is there anything else we can do to boost our moss production? Well, I mean, we're not using 22.5 yet. So I guess we can... I'm doing that because of the pipes being the wrong type at the end. I guess we can do that, because one row uses 2 a second. We can get another 2 moss a second out of it by adding on that row. So might as well do that. And then that's about the most we can get for now. The most we can get for now. Get it? Disturbing how quick we use moss, though. Can I make this bigger? It's already such a huge storage. 240 slots. Yeah, I think 240 slots is enough. That's 12 trains in a row that it can buffer. So it's clear that our demand is just higher than our production at this point. That is what's clear to me, unfortunately. And I only increased production by a tiny bit just now. Yeah, I mean, it looks like we've been full bore for the last 8 hours. Recording. Well, no, because that looks like it switched down into the low mode. I think that's what low mode looks like. Interesting. Maybe the buffer's not big enough. Is this 13 yet? No, we can get 3 more squares out of it. We can get 3 more squares out of this. And then 240 is 12,000 moss. So then that's going to affect our cutoff point. What's our cutoff point? Oh, our cutoff point is 5,000 moss. Maybe that's part of the problem. Our cutoff point should, and it was 12,000. We just added 12 times. We had 72 more slots, which is another 3,000. So we're gonna end up with about 15,000 moss potential. So we'll switch down to recipe 1. Oh, because I want 2 trains to be able to be picked up without switching back to 2. So 15,000 moss, 1,000 moss per train, so down to like 12,000 moss. I think I'll do 12,000. Because that's a solid 240 slots, which means all of these slots. And remember, these represent 12 apiece once you've merged. These slots are enough for exactly 3 train loads. So 3 train loads can come get taken, and it'll stay on the free version of moss. Okay. That all seems okay. Where are the bots with the chests? They're still pretty far away. I think we're getting closer and closer to the point at which I want to put bots. A bot in every home. Roboport, like having 2 bots each or something. It would just be so useful, at least for these core, like these, like this spine of buildings. Imagine if there were a few bots in every single area. Like that would just guarantee there's some that are closer and more accessible. So I think I want to do something like that, because when we do these big construction projects that use all of our bots, it just ends up redistributing the bots in a pretty unhelpful way. I think that's been part of the problem. Honestly, can't tell which one's lined up. I think that one's lined up. All right. Always need more power. There's 72 more megawatts. How much power are we getting from just these guys? 886? No, 930. Sweet. But we're still almost a gigawatt over that. So like we still need this extra power. Cannot ever forget about power completely. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, so that's 15.5K that we can fit now in here. I could even load the moss faster. I don't normally do this, but we can. Given how much of this stuff we use, this feels appropriate to me. So you can have 8 loaders, which adds up to, what is it, 30, 120 a second, which should load a train in under 10 seconds. That's ridiculous and awesome. I love it. Okay, so moss production, is it ramping up now? So we were at our steady 1K a minute. Yeah, I think we're ramping up now. If you kind of put the line in the middle of all that blue stuff, it was right there at about 1K. But now you can see we're going up. Up and up and up. Good. We needed more moss. Uh-oh. We're running out of stone? No, we're not running out of stone. We need another stone mine. Or, sorry, not another stone mine. 2 trains of stone is just not enough throughput. That's all. That's all there is to it. So what I actually need, I just can't seem to get everything right, can I? I guess we need to measure. This is so annoying. The way that I've done this and these two stations being far apart makes this kind of super annoying. But we'll figure it out. Okay, what we'll do is we'll make this max speed unloading station. Just for stone as well. 72 stone. Make sure it's the correct one. You know, I've gotten better at that. I haven't made one of those mistakes in a long time. You remember how that used to be a constant issue? It's not a constant issue anymore. So that feels kind of nice. There's growth. Krydex has grown. Okay, so what I think I need to do, and I know this seems kind of ridiculous, but what I think I want to do is this. And then this. Or no. Is this what we want to do? Yeah. Yeah. What if I just don't care about the stone supply in the first place? What if I just measure moss? Is it safe to assume I'll always have enough stone? I don't know if that's safe to assume is the problem. Okay, why don't I expand this a little bit? Oh goodness, what a mess we've made for ourselves. Okay, and then I want to measure this instead. Alright, is green the wrong color? Green is the wrong color. I want red. And stone is what we were measuring the red with. Alright, red is our stone buffer. And then we need anything else here? I don't think so. Then that stone will all go up to here. It will all get loaded onto that belt. I mean, it feels like we could make this better by going the other way. But at this point, that is already all set. Also, that kind of looks cool. The belt going the other way in the middle of the two belts going that way. On visual appeal alone, I'll allow it. Alright, there's that. Demerge, remerge. We get 96 slots. So we'll say switch over if stone's less than 200 or something. How did we end up not having that powered? Oh, because I shifted that over by one. Yep, I remember doing that. That was me that did that. Stone for moss. Stone 2 for moss. Power those up. Okay, we're getting there. And then we'll probably have to call it an episode after that. Now, have I made the first stainless steel? No, I have not. But we're about to. The only thing we're missing is cobalt extract. Did that start back up again properly? It did. And we've got 1.9k of it. So we are just around the corner. We need about 40 cobalt extract more. We are just around the river bend from having our first stainless freaking steel. How exciting is that? That is really cool. How long does this take to load? 30 a second? 3 seconds? It takes a full minute to load a train if we've only got the 2 loaders. And it's going to take 2 minutes to load the Mark II trains. So I probably should... And we can revamp stations. Well, I guess we can't, because it's the requester station that changes the threshold. And the provider station. I guess what we need to do is whenever we make a request, it's going to be a lot of work. It'll be less work than if we had not prepared for it at all. But it'll still be a lot of work. Whenever I'm like, hey, I want to request threshold of 40 instead of 20. Let's say it was at 20. Then what we're going to need to do is increase the unloading capability, but then we're going to need to go into LTN, find all the places that provide that thing, and make sure that it's being provided at a high enough capacity to fill a whole 40 stacks, and, you know, a high enough loading rate, which is probably a minimum of 4 loaders rather than 2. So, okay, this is done finally. So now we've just got more stone being loaded in, which now we've got 2 train stations running. We should be fine. Okay, well, it's good to know that 20 items a second is kind of past the ability of something that only stacks to 50, right? For something that stacks to 100, I think we could handle about 20 a second. All right, so I assume the cobalt extract, yep, it's getting loaded as we speak. We're gonna follow this train. Follow that car. And this beautiful blue crystal of deliciousness is gonna become stainless steel. All right, well, this takes forever. I was like, we'll sit here and watch this. This is way more boring than I hoped. Oh, by the way, they made that patch that this is yellow until the last one's loaded, which I thought was a good change. People have asked for that change forever, and we finally got it, which is nice. See, it takes forever to get up to top speed. So I think the acceleration of the Mark II Loco is going to be a big deal. It didn't even get to top speed in that whole time. All right, here we go. Well, that's really satisfying to watch. That's it, screeching around the corner. All right, and bloop. There it is, molten stainless, and one more. No, wait, I have no copper? No, come on, what? Wait, what the heck? Now that's new. That's a whole new kind of bug I've never seen.
Oh, no, it's not. It's not. I'm just bad at the game. All right. I need to go there and fix it. I thought, okay, here's what I thought had happened, and maybe some of you are tracking and thought the same thing. But what I thought had happened for a second is that somehow it had thought it was a vertical loader rather than a horizontal loader, and it was like filtering one item to the left and one item to the right, even though it needed to be filtering one item to the top and one item to the bottom. For a second, I thought that's what was happening. I don't think that's what was happening. I think I just forgot to click a button. Far more logical explanation. But it really confused my brain for a second. I was like, what? How did that happen? Okay, so we just need to pick up a lot of this nickel. Stand here on the end. That should do it. There it is. And there it is. Woohoo! 274 hours. We got our first stainless steel, baby. That is a thing of beauty. All right, and done. Put all that back. There it is. Take a picture of that thing of beauty. All right, well, I think we'll call that an episode. I'll go check on Moss one more time to double check that it's functioning, but I think it probably is. Yeah. Okay, so I think Moss is good now. And now we've got 4 potential incoming trains of stone to handle that moss. Hopefully. Yep. Production seems to be stabilizing at, yeah, about the 1.4K mark. 0.5K. Sweet. Which is, I think, just the maximum. Yeah, 1.5K is the max. Assuming I'm making 66 chlorinated water, which we should be. Unless I run out of plastic or chlorine, we should be fine on chlorinated water. You know, I probably should set up more alarms in general, right? Like, I can do something like this pretty easily. Done. Right? And now we'll know for sure if chlorinated water ever has a problem. And I should just do more of that around the base when I set things up in the first place. The annoying part is if I did that everywhere, we'd constantly be getting alerts. And we'd spend way more time rebuilding old setups. But at the same time, you know, it would help us spot problems sooner. So anyway, all right, well, we're gonna call it an episode there. As always, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next one.